In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NBA games happening on March 28, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NBA games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. New York Knicks versus Milwaukee Bucks. The New York Knicks will be hitting the road for a tough matchup against the Milwaukee Bucks at Pfizer Forum in Milwaukee, Wisconsin on Friday night. This game marks the final showdown of their 3-game regular season series, and the stakes are high for both teams. The Knicks have a chance to pull off a rare sweep of the Bucks, something they haven't accomplished since the 2012 to 2013 season. They've already handled Milwaukee convincingly twice at Madison Square Garden, securing dominant victories with scores of 116 to 94 and 140 to 106. Now, the question is whether they can carry that momentum into enemy territory. Injuries continue to shape the outlook of this game, as both teams are dealing with key absences. The Knicks remain without Jalen Brunson, Cameron Payne, and Miles McBride, while the Bucks have once again ruled out Damian Lillard. On top of that, Giannis Antetokounmpo is listed as questionable, adding even more uncertainty to Milwaukee's lineup. The Knicks have struggled with consistency since losing Brunson, and their injury report hasn't shown much improvement. Meanwhile, the Bucks haven't exactly been on fire either, dropping 6 of their last 10 games. Without Jalen Brunson, the Knicks find themselves simply trying to stay afloat as the regular season nears its most crucial stretch. Fortunately, their standing as the 3rd seed in the Eastern Conference is still secure, holding a 2.5-game lead over the Indiana Pacers. On paper, Friday's matchup appears favorable for New York, considering how well they've handled Milwaukee this season. Those previous 2 wins, by 22 and 34 points, were largely fueled by Brunson's offensive brilliance, as he averaged 29.5 points per game in those meetings. His absence will certainly impact the Knicks' scoring, but they still have capable offensive weapons in Og Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, and Karl Anthony Towns, who should be able to help shoulder the load. Milwaukee finds itself in a similarly difficult position, with Damian Lillard sidelined due to blood clots. Given the nature of the condition, the chances of Lillard returning this season are slim. We saw how the San Antonio Spurs took a cautious approach by shutting down Victor Wembanyama for a similar issue after the All-Star break. With back-to-back losses to the Phoenix Suns and Denver Nuggets, the Bucks' hopes of securing the 4th seed are fading. Giannis Antetokounmpo also sat out the game against Denver with a foot injury, adding another layer of uncertainty. Even when Giannis has played against the Knicks this season, they've done a respectable job containing him, limiting him to 24 points on 50% shooting. The stakes are undeniably high, and while we can expect Giannis to bring his best if he plays, the question remains, can he single-handedly carry this Bucks squad against a Knicks team that has had their number? One of the biggest advantages New York has enjoyed in this matchup has been their dominance on the boards. In both of their previous meetings this season, they controlled the rebounding battle while also holding the Bucks to under 30% shooting from beyond the arc. Additionally, the Knicks have covered the spread in 4 of their last 5 meetings with Milwaukee, which suggests they've figured out how to handle this team. Given the Bucks' injury concerns and the Knicks' recent track record against them, I don't see much reason to back Milwaukee if both Lillard and Giannis are unavailable or limited. It's also worth noting that the Knicks are 4-0 straight up and against the spread in their last 4 games against the Bucks. As our first pick for this matchup, the New York Knicks money line is our full game side pick. While the Knicks exploded for 140 points the last time they faced the Bucks, a huge chunk of that scoring came from Jalen Brunson, who contributed 44 points in that game. Without him, New York's offensive firepower won't be nearly as potent, and with Lillard also out for Milwaukee, a high-scoring contest seems unlikely. The Knicks are one of the slowest-paced teams in the league, ranking 26th with just 97.1 possessions per 48 minutes. They also rank 28th in three-point rate, hitting just .382% of their attempts from deep. The Bucks, while usually playing at a faster pace, also rely on their perimeter shooting, sitting 13th in three-point rate at .426%. However, without Lillard, they are far less likely to push the pace or create as many transition opportunities. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Phoenix Suns versus Minnesota Timberwolves. The Phoenix Suns are set to travel to Target Center on Friday night, where they'll go head-to-head with the Minnesota Timberwolves in a Western Conference showdown. With the regular season winding down, both teams are jockeying for position in the standings, making this a crucial matchup. Phoenix currently sits in 10th place in the West, holding a 35-38 record. Their most recent outing didn't go well, as they suffered a lopsided 132-102 loss at home against the Boston Celtics on Wednesday. Meanwhile, Minnesota is a bit higher up in the standings, sitting in 8th place with a 41-32 record. They, too, are coming off a tough defeat, losing 119-103 on the road to the Indiana Pacers on Tuesday. This will mark the fourth and final time these two teams face off this season. And so far, the Timberwolves have dominated, winning all three previous meetings. The Suns are dealing with some injury issues, as they will once again be without Bradley Beal, who has been ruled out for this contest. On the other hand, the Timberwolves are in a great spot health-wise, with no players listed on the injury report. Looking at the numbers, the gap between these teams might not be as big as it seems. Minnesota ranks 6th in the league with a 4.2 net rating, while Phoenix is far behind, sitting at 19th with a -1.4 net rating. However, when breaking down recent defensive performances, the differences become less pronounced. Over the last 5 games, the Timberwolves have allowed opponents to shoot 48.9% from the field and 38.8% from three-point range. Meanwhile, the Suns have been slightly better in that span, holding opponents to 46.0% from the floor and 36.4% from deep. The Timberwolves have owned this matchup lately, winning 7 straight games against the Suns. Not only that, but they are also one of the healthiest teams in the league right now, which gives them another advantage. On paper, Minnesota should be the clear favorite and continue their dominance. However, they have a frustrating tendency to play down to their competition, making them unpredictable at times. We've already seen them drop games to the Pelicans and Pacers as double-digit favorites, proving that they can be vulnerable. Meanwhile, the Suns have quietly stepped up their game, winning 5 of their last 7 contests. They are still fighting to stay in the play-in conversation, meaning they have a lot on the line. Given how badly they've been beaten by Minnesota in previous matchups, they should have extra motivation to put up a strong fight this time. As our first pick for this matchup, the Phoenix Suns to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Both teams have been solid on the offensive end, ranking among the top 10 in the NBA in terms of offensive efficiency. The Suns currently hold the 8th best offensive rating at 115.2, while the Timberwolves are right behind them in 10th place with a 114.8 rating. Ball movement has been a strong point for both squads as well. Phoenix is among the league's best in terms of sharing the ball, ranking 6th with a 67.9% assist percentage. Minnesota isn't too far behind, sitting at 12th with 64.1% of their made shots coming off an assist. History also suggests that points should be plentiful in this matchup. The over has hit in 7 of the last 10 meetings between these teams. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Utah Jazz versus Denver Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets are heading into Friday's Western Conference showdown against the Utah Jazz with one goal in mind, securing a win. They've got momentum on their side and are determined to keep applying pressure on the Houston Rockets as they push for that coveted second seed in the Western Conference standings. Denver might be dealing with some lineup uncertainty as star guard Jamal Murray is listed as questionable due to a lingering hamstring injury. On the other hand, the Jazz are facing their own setbacks, still missing key players John Collins, Jordan Clarkson, and Lauri Markkanen. While the Nuggets could be a little short on manpower, that didn't seem to slow them down in their recent victory over the Milwaukee Bucks. Playing in Denver is always a nightmare for visiting teams, largely because of the high altitude, which can wear opponents down fast. Right now, the Nuggets are in the best shape they've been in for a while, and with the postseason looming, every win matters if they want to climb the standings. History is on their side, too. The Nuggets are riding a 5-0 streak both straight up and against the spread in their last 5 meetings with the Jazz. 4 of those victories weren't even close, with Denver winning as double-digit favorites. The odds makers don't usually hand out lines like this for no reason. Yes, the spread is big, but the Jazz are dealing with injuries, playing on 0 days of rest, and simply not performing well. Bookmakers aren't just throwing a massive number out there for fun. They know what they're doing. It's not the easiest bet to make given the hefty line, but Utah looks like a team that has accepted its fate this season, and playing on the second night of a back-to-back isn't going to help them. As our first pick for this matchup, the Denver Nuggets to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Using the same reasoning for backing Denver, Nikola Jokic's presence on the floor makes a massive difference for the Nuggets, and with him healthy and playing, they have the potential to run up the score on Friday. It's not an exaggeration to say that Denver transforms into a completely different team when Jokic is in the lineup. With him, they average a solid 122 points per game. Without him, that number drops to 110.2. The numbers don't lie. Denver's games have been trending high scoring, with 7 of their last 8 matchups going over the total. For the season, they're 45-29 to the over, and when playing as home favorites, they have a 20-11 record on hitting the over. In division games, they are 10-4 on the over. Utah has been a solid road team with a 21-14 record in away games and a 9-3 mark in division matchups. Jazz games tend to see a lot of three-point shooting, which inflates point totals. Utah makes 13.9 threes per game, but also gives up a league-worst 14.8 made threes per game to opponents. Both the Nuggets and the Jazz play at a fast pace, ranking in the NBA as top 10 with 103.6 and 103.4 possessions per game, respectively. Denver has struggled defensively in recent games, allowing an average of 121 points per 100 possessions in their last 10 matchups, while scoring 118 points in return. Both teams also average 99.9 possessions per 48 minutes, which ties them for 5th in the league. The trends point toward another high-scoring affair, especially since 2 of their last 3 meetings in the 2024-2025 season have gone over the total. The Nuggets may not take the most three-pointers in the league. They rank dead last in three-point rate at 35.5%, but when they do shoot them, they're highly efficient, ranking 4th in the NBA at 38.1% from beyond the arc. Meanwhile, Utah struggles defensively, ranking 28th in opponent two-point percentage and dead last in forcing turnovers. That's a recipe for Denver to rack up easy points all night. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.